Hello everyone, and welcome back to Staxel. And I am back from vacation. It was an interesting trip. They're already talking about, on our next one, I'm like, oh heck no. I'm like, that's gonna be a no for me. Oh my goodness, it feels weird to be back. I had to remember how to do everything. I'm hoping I did it right, but there is a high likelihood that I didn't, so if anything goes a little wonky, just let me know. But thus far I can see it on the iPad. The game volume is always kind of low, but when it pops back up, we will be able to hear it. I do have a granola bar that I'm finishing because traveling has left me very hungry. I'm so tired. How do we have 88,000 and still the tiniest little house? An unfinished house, might I add. Oh. Come on. I swear this mouse is like starting to not work. And we have 2 cows. Part of me is like really curious about my design choices here. Yeah, this is cramped. I don't like that. Okay, we have a duck and 2 chickens. It always surprises me on each save, like, what type of animals I have. I'm like, where did I get this one? Where did I get this one? How did I get this one? Because while I was on vacation, pretty much the only game I could play was Staxel, because it's the only one that didn't require an internet connection. So I sat there and I played Staxel for a very long time, learned a lot of different things. But on that save, I have 3 chickens that I did not buy. They were given to me. I also made much nicer houses. Like, did I just get lazy with this one or something? I mean, it is a distinct possibility, but like, this is bad. So also, making butter from the cream makes you even more money. Yeah, that needs some renovating. Okay, so we have the animal... I almost said animal shelter. It's not an animal shelter, it's a pet shop. Good morning, farm fan. I've achieved interesting things. I got oat seeds that grow in the autumn. Okay, can't use those. Hi, Borland. 5 new discoveries. Okay. I'm thinking that we have pretty much everything, like, built for now that we can. Yeah, this needs some renovations. I have a scythe. There it is. Which, that sucks because I'm pretty sure that those ones are nice ones that I planted, but, I mean, oh well. Take the L for a good cause. Okay. Switch that over. I need more...
Incoming ad break.
I need more fencing. We have plenty of money. Okay, so I have more fencing. Jeezums! Like, this is not good. Okay, and we're also going to go from here. I'm going to have to, like, replace the fence as we go. Come on, flatten out. There we go. Okay, so we're going to skip 2 so that I can still fit in there. You know, this game is actually a lot easier to play with controls. Or the like, console. Let's... Okay, we are going to need to replace all of this. Because these guys like to escape. Also, I think some of the rules are kind of different between the Steam Deck and this one. The computer saves don't actually... you can't do cloud saves for this game. And I think it's almost kind of like a mobile version on the Steam Deck. So it's a little different, but... There were just some things that I noticed. I'm like, why is this different on the computer versus the Steam Deck? But anywho, holy crap, that's expensive. Why is this fence so expensive? Honestly, it would be better just to make it myself, but I got money right now. It's fine. How did I get that much money? Now I'm honestly curious. I'm like, how did I amass this much wealth, and yet still my house looks like trash? Okay, so I think what we're gonna do you know what? We'll just leave it that. Okay, we're just gonna kind of... Oh, gosh dang it. Put it the wrong way. There we go. Oh, no. See? The chickens are little escape artists. That was like my main problem, is my chickens kept running away and then I kept having to chase them with capture crates. But essentially what's going to happen is I want a bigger pen, and so this is going to be a pen for the cows and for the chickens. And normally by putting 2 of the little pieces, I can hop in and out, but they can't. Look at Faye just looking for an out. Literally gotta put the fence up like 2 pieces at a time. No. Ah, chicken. Faye. Okay, that's gonna stay there. Okay, so now we have that, which means we should be able to take down the interior fence. So now the chickens and the duck and the cows should all have more space to roam around. There we go. That's better. I say better, it's still not great. Also, the house is just an absolute disgrace. I think I said it at one point, I was like, oh, I'll just fix it later. Now might be later. Or later might be now, I guess. However you want to look at that. Okay, fill that. I don't want to take that yet. Okay, mixed seeds. Forgot how quiet this game is. I could always turn on my Fallout playlist. You know what? That'll give us something to listen to. Okay, let's see. Pull up the YouTube. Switch. Account. Playlists. Let's see. Music. Which one is it? It's that one. Okay. So now we have music. At least now it's not stupidly quiet. We have something to listen to. Oh my gosh. This house. It's so cramped. Okay, yeah, this is gonna have to change. So I think first off, I think we're going to add a shed. Because it's a lot easier to deal with having all this, all the storage if it's in one central area. That and we can organize better. I actually model pretty much all of my farms after like the same setup. And you know what? I'm like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay, let's just put the sitting log right there. Okay, and then I hate the color of the house. I don't know why I keep getting the yellow one. I think I've gotten one other color. But yeah, no, I don't like the color. I hate yellow. So I think we're going to go with the gray block. Do I have any extra? No. Let's check inside since I have storage everywhere. Oh, okay. blue petal away. Interesting achievement. Like, you threw a ball. I'm like, oh, okay. Congratulations to me. Okay, we can sell these stones. Okay, over to Eliza's, and... Okay, in every save you have, they will move the placement of these blocks, and I'm like, where are the gray blocks? Here they are. Okay. Still working on my relationship with Serana. Some of these blocks are very interesting. Like, we can make a mushroom maze? Oh, that just reminds me. I have storage out behind the house, too. Why? I have too much freaking storage. Okay. Did I use a base on this one? I don't think I did. No. Color do I want? I could do like white on white, or I think that one has a red roof. Not a huge fan of that either. We do blue, but I like this, like the gray brick. Very demure. Or, hear me out. We do like an Anne of Green Gables situation. That'd be cute. Okay, let's... The shelves are too wide, so we'll do... Okay, space, corner, 1, 2... Yeah, something like that. So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, so we can have 3 shelves. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay. Gosh dang it. Ran out of blocks, but good for me. I don't need corners. Oh, like, give me 1 extra block. Okay. That went where? Oh, I didn't pick it up. Okay, well, point remains. This is now the shed. All of my buildings are going to be different colors, which is going to bug me in the beginning, but it'll be fine. Any more of the green brick blocks. Try saying that 5 times fast. And I don't think anyone else has the green bricks, so you know, I get points for originality on that one. Okay, take that. Where are bricks? Okay, I didn't need that many. But I also have so much storage already that I'm like, I need more space. Because normally I would only do a shed to where you could have 2, oh shit, I want snowballs. Yeah, I would only do it to where you could have 2 shelves, so it would be 6 shelves in here. Now I did it for 9. Okay, and then we'll do a slightly wider entrance. I never put doors on these things. Because for some odd reason in games, I don't like doors. I did the exact same thing in Nightingale. I refused to put doors on any of my buildings. And I don't exactly even have a reason. I just, for some odd reason, don't like doors. And I ran out of blocks again. Good lord. Okay. We're going to go to sleep, and then we're going to go get more I tried to say blocks and bricks at the same time. Okay, there we go. The house is so cramped. Okay, and you guys should be pretty happy in your new setup. Oh, that's straw food. I need more chicken food. Milk the cow. Maisie is busy doing I have no idea what. Okay. Hi, Loki. Oh. My boss texted me. Gotta see what that's about. Oh boy. Let's see. Ugh. See, this is stupid. So we have this big conference going on, and since we are getting paid for a full work schedule, but even though we're not working a full work schedule because we're in the conference, we have to attend one of the after hours events. I'm like, I don't want to. Like, I will go in and work the extra hours. This makes me peeved. Oh,
welcome Sinister _
Sinister.
Studios Z.
How are you doing? Yes, I'm back. I'm so freaking tired. I'm absolutely exhausted. And I have to go back to work tomorrow and I don't want to. I honestly, my husband took off 2 weeks, and I feel like at the very least I should have taken off yesterday, or tomorrow, too. I am so tired. Let's see. It was interesting. There was a lot going on. I surprisingly did not get motion sick the whole time I was gone, except for one of the nights, and I didn't actually get sick, but I was very woozy all day. We hit some really rough water, and the staff actually said that it was the worst they had ever experienced. The boat was literally rocking side to side. And if you're gonna try to say, oh, but you can't feel the motion, no, you can feel everything. Yeah. It was, there's just so much going on. Honestly, I don't even, know where to start. Sitka was raining so bad that I just ended up with, like, very soggy shoes. I was pretty much walking in puddles. And I was not very happy about that. Jeez, like, what? What exactly is there to tell? Like, this is the first time I've actually, like, talked about the trip since it happened, so I'm like, what exactly do I say? The bed was hard as a rock. Okay, and the crappiest thing is, so my in-laws and I, we stayed in an Airbnb in Seattle for 2 days. And the bed that my husband and I had was hard as a freaking rock. Like, I mean, no give. No give whatsoever. I was like, how in the world? And so, for the first 2 days, like, my shoulders hurt so bad. Just because I was pretty much, like, literally sleeping right on top of my shoulder. Seattle was actually interesting. About the question that I put up there, that I was like the most random thing Googled on the trip thus far. That was because we actually saw just straight up, like, public nudity, and we're like, what? And the weirdest thing is, it was only my sister-in-law and I that saw it, and we're like, and she's like, did I just see that? I was like, yeah, you did. And so of course we're like, is that even legal? It is in fact legal, and it's legal until at least one person takes offense to the nudity, and then apparently the people have to cover up. I thought it was really weird, but yeah, it was a very strange happening. People were actually very friendly. I don't know what I was expecting, but yeah, surprisingly they were all pretty friendly. It did rain once, but we ended up going to this market that was there, and it was really fun. There was a gum wall that we stuck gum on. It was disgusting, but I had to do it just to say that I did it. I found that was the reason that I did a lot of things on the trip. It was not necessarily things that I wanted to do, but I wanted to do them because I wanted to say that I had done them. I also tried to eat food that I wasn't necessarily, like, familiar with. Which, when I was in Seattle, was kind of scary, because I was like, I don't know what's in this. And I'm like, this could be bad. I could have, like, an allergic reaction to this. So I had to be a little cautious, but it wasn't too bad. Let's see. What else did we do? I went to the Space Needle. That was pretty cool. The Space Needle is actually much taller than I was expecting. Well, I don't even know if I had any expectations, but it was interesting. I'm literally, like, trying to dredge up the memories. I'm like, what did we do? What did we even do while we were there? Okay, the prices at the Space Needle were ridiculous. Like, I think for 2 little pies, and I think we each got a bottle of water, it was like almost $50. It was a wee bit pricey. And the pie was okay, but they were actually really sweet, and they had this local pie. It was, I think, huckleberry, And I wanted to try it really badly because I was like, you know, I want to try things that I don't normally try, and like this is a local thing. This is a fresh thing. Like I want to try it. So I asked, I was like, "Oh, is there cinnamon?" Because, you know, me and my allergies. And she was like, "Oh, I don't know, but let me radio the kitchen and ask." So she actually radioed the kitchen, and lo and behold, yes, it did have cinnamon, so no, I could not try it. So I was
Check out the
a little
Pando Pet Cafe to play with me.
but at least I lived. Boarding the boat was interesting because there's like a lot of security checkpoints and everything, and you have to like show your passport. And then we found out none of the people in our party had actually signed their passports, which is a thing you have to do. So all of us had to stand there and sign our passports, which was kind of funny because they're all like looking at us. And so we handed our passports over, and they're like, "Oh, you have to sign." And then they get to the next one. "Oh, you have to sign." And then finally, we just started looking at her like, "Oh, I need that pen. I have to sign mine too." And she was a little exasperated. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, we're obviously not very well traveled. And my husband and, I think he had an expired passport. And mine was expired and I had to change my name. So we both had to get new passports for this, and we both didn't sign them. So that was fun. But when we got on, we actually had this pass called the Key Member Pass. And so we actually got a little luncheon thing for us when we first got there. It was really nice. We got... What did I get? There was a lot of steak. Like, honestly, the fancy options for just about everything was, "Oh, here's steak. Oh, here's steak. Oh, you want a steak?" And then we ended up celebrating 2 birthdays on that trip. No, mine was not one of them. But for the birthdays, we went to a steakhouse and they had Wagyu steak. And my husband's like, "Oh, I've been wanting to try Wagyu for like forever." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So he gets the Wagyu steak, and honestly, my regular ribeye was more tender, and so he was very disappointed with his first taste of Wagyu. I was like, "I'm very sorry." "I'm sorry for your loss, sir." So that was kind of a bummer, but I mean, the food was okay. Honestly, the buffet, they kind of served pretty much the same thing or a variation of the same thing every day. Like, you could always count on mashed potatoes, chicken. I pretty much lived off of a beige menu because me being me with the touch of the tism, I didn't want a lot of the food, and so I was very picky about what food I ate. So yes, I ended up eating a lot of chicken strips. They were actually very good chicken strips, but still, I ended up eating a lot of chicken strips. They did have, like I said, there was a lot of stuff. I could have been more adventurous if I wanted, but I did not want. So, yeah, that's why we ended up there. There was a lot of eating. Like, there's not much to do on the boat unless you want to have to sit there and, like, go through all the activities and everything, which some of them are fun. They had, like, game shows and stuff. Which one did we watch? We watched The Perfect Couple, which is pretty funny. There was Finish the Line or something like that? Or is Finish the Lyrics? That one was pretty fun. There's okay, so it was a Finish the Lyric competition. So the volunteers had to go up, and they had to sit there and, like, the game show people picked a card, and the card had a song and an artist, and the person had to sing the rest of the song. Which, you know, funny, haha. So we're sitting here watching. Are these actually... No, they're 2. Did I mismeasure it some... Oh, I did. Oops. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You should have 8. Okay, I guess destroy that. Anywho. So, we were sitting there watching, and the people were good sports. Like, they really were. If it was me, I'd be like, I can't do this. But as we're going, this little girl, she was probably like 4 or 5. She comes up and she's like, I want to sing Frozen. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, this was completely like, wait, what? And so they pulled up Let It Go. And so, like, they pull it from the beginning. And she does not start from the beginning. She just starts singing Let It Go. And it was the cutest thing ever. And so she's just going and going and going. They finally were like, oh, okay. And, like, everyone claps. We're like, yay. And so we're finishing. Like, it's the end of the... Like, everyone's already gone. And then she comes back up and she says, I want to sing Jurassic Park. And they're like, what? and so they're confused as to what she's asking. Because, like, Jurassic Park, like, there's no sing-along in Jurassic Park. So we're all a little confuzzled on what she's asking for. And so she starts humming. It's the Jurassic Park theme song. Like, the one without the lyrics. And so they just pull it up and she just does the whole intro. Like, it was the cutest thing ever. Yeah, we had a very interesting time with that. Oh, why is this... Oh, wait. Never mind. I just need to add... But yeah, it was absolutely adorable. Everyone, like, completely just was, like, cheering and clapping. This little girl was having the time of her life. So that one was, like, super adorable. Oddly enough, I think the best part of the trip was the restaurants. And not even just, like, all of them in general. But we ended, and the thing is, I don't even know how we ended up at this restaurant. But one night we'd come back and I was exhausted. And Hubs was like, hey, like, the family wants to go eat at a restaurant, like an actual sit down instead of the buffet. And I was like, I am not going anywhere right now. I'm like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to walk anywhere. I want to sit down. I was like, I just need a moment. And he's like, oh, okay. So Hubs ended up going, and he's like, hey, like, he sent me the menu, and I think I saw chicken parmesan, and I was like, oh, dang it. Because I love chicken parm. And so I was like, fine. So I get ready and I go down. Turned out to be the best thing, because the waiters were so lovely. We ended up eating at that one restaurant the next 4 days for dinner. We became such good friends with these waiters because we had the same waiters. And that was the thing, is we ended up requesting their table specifically. We ended up getting reservations for these particular waiters. And yeah, so we ended up eating at their table for the next 4 days. We became such good friends. They added us on Facebook. So shout out Mark from, I think he was from the Philippines, and Komeng was from Indonesia. So, like, shout out to them. Yeah, they became, like, our best friends. And honestly, we were, like, so sad to leave them. And then they told us, Mark was telling us that when they dock, the crew don't really get a chance to, like, go out and do anything because they have, like, very strict work schedules that they have to follow. And so he said, oh, when you go to the garden, he's like, take lots of pictures so that I can see it. And I felt so bad. Because I'm like, here we are having this, like, amazing vacation, and, like, they're working. Like, I mean, it's their job, I get it. But, like, they go to all these amazing places, and they never get to see them because they're working. And it just kind of broke my heart a little. So when we were at the gardens, we went to the Bouchard Gardens? Something like that. We ended up going to these gardens. It was in Victoria, Canada. And I felt so bad. I was just like, they've been so amazing to us. Like, absolutely amazing. And I ended up getting them each, because they wanted to see pictures. So I got them each a calendar that had pictures of the gardens in it. And then I got them each a postcard that said I still don't know how to pronounce it, the Bouchard Gardens. And on the back of the postcard, I wrote them, like, hey, like, I wrote them some funny things that happened on the trip. Like, Komang, I put, after we're gone, may all your tablecloths be safe, because my brother-in-law knocked over a glass of red wine all over the table. It stained the tablecloth and the table underneath. I don't know what that table was made out of, but it was white and it stained with red wine. And so, after that, Komang he was just joking around with us. And he's like, oh, do you want wine? And my brother-in-law's like, no, I probably shouldn't. And we're like, yeah, save your tablecloths. So that became the running gag, was that, we ended up staining the table. Oh my gosh. We ended up having a lot of fun, but it wasn't...
Hope everyone enjoys it here. Please follow the stream.
It wasn't the stuff that, like, I thought we would have fun with, because, like, the excursions, I did not end up liking most of the excursions, just because, like I said, in Sitka, it was raining the whole time. We were sopping wet. We were miserable. It's cold. Which, I get, it's not Sitka's fault for that, but, like, it still didn't make it very fun. We went to the... oh gosh, what is it called? The Fortress of the Bears. We went and saw black bears and brown bears. I had a lot of pictures of the bears, because they were pretty cool. We went to the Raptor Center while we were there. So we got to see the... bald eagles that were in rehabilitation from, like, accidents and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. What else did we do? We did, like, 3 things while we were there. We went on a hike at the Raptor Center, and we saw the salmon spawning grounds, which are kind of gross. Like, okay, so... and for anybody who doesn't know about the life cycle of a salmon, so salmon, when they're born, they swim downstream, they swim to all these, like, other places. They come back when they're, I think they're like, between 2 and 4 years. I don't remember exactly. But when they're, like, ready to have their babies, they swim back up the stream that they were born in. And yes, even if you artificially put the eggs there, which a high school class did in one of the streams, even if you take, random eggs from a random stream, put them in this stream, they will come back to that stream. So they swim back upstream. The females lay the eggs, the males fertilize the eggs, and then they die. Straight up. They're like, we went up this stream to have our babies, and then that's the end. That is the end of the salmon. Which is, a little creepy. So, we're going to this Raptor Center, we're walking along the river, and it smells horrible. Like, dead fish. And you look down, and there are just this river full of dead fish. Like, that's a little disturbing. So, yeah, that was fun. Yeah. It was a strange happening. What a door frame over here. Because I got too much crap in other places. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of that. So that was interesting. I'm trying to remember what the last, because like I said, I think we did 3 things while we were there. But the only thing that I really remember is the fact that we ate at a place called the Mean Queen, and it was seafood, and Hubs got a pound of prawns, which is the first time he's ever tried prawns, and he really liked them. And I got this thing called the Queen's Crown, which was these little, like, pizza roll things, but it was like fresh dough, like a sheet of fresh dough, that was cut about 2 inches tall. And then there was pepperoni and mozzarella cheese wrapped up and baked in a crown shape. It was delicious. And the dough was like super fresh. See, I remember the food a lot. We could tell where my priorities were. But yes, we ate a lot. Also, one thing that no one ever mentions, because A, they might not know, and B, like, it's a bit strange, how hungry you get while you are traveling. No one ever mentions that. So, throughout this whole experience, I was ravenously hungry. Like, I even was, like, keeping track. I'm like, okay, like, when did we eat here? When did we eat here? When did we eat here? And, yeah, we were eating a lot. But it was because we were, like, genuinely hungry all the time. It's a very weird thing. I've traveled before, but it was when I was younger, and so maybe I just thought, like, oh, hey, like, yeah, when you're young, you're just hungry all the time. But no, it just, all of us were ravenously hungry. We ended up eating at a lot of different restaurants, both on the ship and off. Hubs got to try this, what is it, Tracy's Crab Shack. He was so excited.
Incoming ad break.
And I hate seafood, so I got to watch him eat 2 pounds of king crab legs. I was just like, this is gross. I was like, this is not what I imagined doing today. And yes, I realized, like, I don't know if anybody else realized, like, I hate seafood. This is the worst, like, possible area that you could bring me to. Because that's what everything was, try this salmon, try these shrimp. I'm like, I hate seafood. So, yeah, that was an unfortunate part of the whole thing, was so much seafood. So much seafood. But everyone else enjoyed it, so, I mean, there's that. Yeah, no, like, everyone else was just like, oh my gosh, like, they were so in love with all this seafood, I'm just like, ugh. Like, I can't. Like, I can't do it. I just can't. Like, even some of the smells of, like, so the market that we went to in Seattle, seafood market, or at least parts of it were seafood. And so the smell was just, like, absolutely nauseating to me. And, like, I was trying to be a good sport about it, but there were times that I was literally just like, ugh. I'm like, I can't with the smell. What is that? That's a seed of some sort, but I don't know what it goes to, so we're just gonna chuck it down there. Yeah, not about that, the seafood. Like, seafood has a smell, a very, very distinct smell. I don't understand why so many people, like, absolutely adore it, and why they're willing to spend so much money on it, because, like, I can't even breathe around it. But, you know, to each their own. Like I said, everyone else was having, like, the time of their life. It was just me that was the only one who was getting sick off of it. Oddly enough, Tracy's Crab Shack did not reek of fish. Like, that, like, fishy smell. Which I was expecting. I was fully expecting, you know, the place that's famous for crab and whatnot. I was expecting it to have, like, a really bad fishy smell. It did not. Was quite surprised. So, like, that place wasn't too bad, but it was cold. That's probably, like, my biggest complaint about Tracy's, was we got... that place is weird, because when you order at the front counter, and then you go and take a seat, and then you just wait for your food. And where we were sitting, I was facing, or my back was facing the door, and so every time somebody walked by, it would create a draft, and I was so freaking cold. I was like, I'm over this. I'm over the cold. But once again, not too terrible. The other thing is, I did not get any decent sleep, really. The whole time we were gone, I'd wake up at, like, random points in the middle of the night. Like, a typical night was me waking up, like, 6 or 7 times. I'm like, why am I awake right now? But yeah, nope, just awake in the middle of the night. And Hubs did it too. He woke up several times in the middle of the night. Like, most nights. I need another shelf. The problem is I don't want to buy too many shelves and have extra random shelves. Let's see, and then where else did we go? So, Sitka, and then we went to Skagway. Skagway was pretty cool. We got to see sled dogs, which they're not what you would expect. Like, when you think about sled dogs, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Like, when you picture a sled dog, what do you picture in your head? Because most of us were thinking, like, oh, like huskies, malamutes. No, they are these, like, they look like mutts, but they are specifically, like, they are bred to be sled dogs and whatnot. But they were these, like, scrawny looking. I mean, they were very strong. But yeah, they just looked like these little mutts. Okay, I need to pick up one specific item. I just need the shelf. There we go. But yeah, the whole thing was interesting. But like I said, they're all like, so when's our next one? I'm like, oh heck no. Like, I enjoyed it the one time, and I'm like, I don't want to do it again.
I'm hungry.
Okay, so I got home at 3 something this morning. I will actually check the cameras and see exactly when I came home. It was... When did we first get home? We got home at 3:21 in the morning.
Welcome Erase Thesquid.
No. We were only gone for...
Welcome Highlanders
That's an excellent question.
1743.
I don't even remember exactly how long we were on for, but no, I'm back. I am back. I should have taken more time off of work. I'm not looking forward to going back. But we are back. Also, congrats, Eris, for getting first. Sinister, you were right here. Yeah, no, we are back. I am exhausted. As I said, we got back at 3:21 in the morning. And the reason we got back so late is actually really, really annoying. Like, exceedingly annoying. So what happened was we flew in from Dallas. Yep, we were in Dallas, we fly back. And when we get back, so it's like... What time was it? It was like 11 when we got into the big city, which would have put us home somewhere around 1:30. So we're going back to the truck. And we just so happened to notice, hey, because it was my father-in-law, like, hey, somebody hit your truck while we were gone. So then it becomes, oh, we're going to have to file a report about this. Who do we do this through? So I tell him who I think we have to go through. He calls, they're like, oh, you can just do an online report. Well, then my sister-in-law, who was already home by that point because she lived in Texas, she ends up telling us, no, you can't do a report on that online because it's a hit and run. You have to call. Well, then he calls the local authorities, and they're saying, oh, we can't take a report because it happened at the airport. You have to call airport security. So we call airport security. They're like, well, we can't take this. It has to be from the police. There's a small police detachment that works at the airport. We finally get them back, but we had already left. We were about 15 minutes out already. And then they're like, oh, you have to come back to the airport to make a report. So then we go back to the airport. And then we have to wait. And by the time they're done, it was so late. And I'm like, oh, great.
Audio Ignis raided you.
Hello, Audio. I'm telling the story, the very unfortunate story of why I got back at 3:21 this morning.
Welcome, Ren Panda Apothecary.
So yes, hello everyone. I am back from vacation, and I am exhausted.
Welcome, yeah. Anti-pixelated.
So we ended up having to drive all the way back to the airport, and then they filed a report, and then we got to drive home, which was like 2.5 hours.
Welcome, LukiLX0.
So that was fun. And on top of all of this, like, I don't sleep very well in cars.
Welcome, Audio Inus.
But here I was trying to fall asleep in a car, and on more than one occasion, my father-in-law was speeding so fast that I ended up slamming my head into the window, so my head hurt by the time I got back. It was kind of a wreck. And like I said, they're already talking about, yeah, on our next cruise. I'm like, no. I'm like, leave me home. I don't want to do it again. Like, once was enough just for the experience, but I don't want to do it again. I'm freaking tired. I have been missing you guys so much. The Wi-Fi was so horrendous on the boat that I couldn't, like, I was trying to send out messages, and I was trying to send pictures and stuff too while I was gone, but I couldn't even get pictures out. Like, nothing was working. I was, like, so miserable. I was like, I just want to talk to my friends. And then, of course, there was, like, multiple time jumps. So, we ended up on, like, there were several times that we ended up on different, like, time zones. And then you have boat time, which was different than phone time, because when you're in the middle of the ocean, it doesn't like to tell you when you've switched time zones. So we had to go on this app, and the app would tell you what boat time was versus what your phone was telling you. And that's how you figured out when you were supposed to wake up. You're like, okay, we're going by boat time now. So boat time says it's this time. So, once again, that was great. Just so tired. So yeah, we get home, and then we're like, oh, animals, we love you so much. They were mad. They were very mad. The dogs were excited. The cats were very mad. So we played with cats for a while, and then I was like, okay, I have to take a shower and go to bed. Almost fell asleep in the shower. That was bad. Yeah, completely almost passed out in the shower. Tried to go to sleep, had a hard time falling asleep, because when you spent the last like week on a boat and you're used to the rocking motion of the boat, even if it's just a little bit, like, I don't care what anyone freaking says, you can feel when the boat is moving. You can feel that. Or at least I could. It was very apparent. I'm like, oh look, we're moving. So, and that was the thing. So many people were like, oh, you can't feel the motion at all. Oh no, I woke up the next morning, I was like, quit rocking the boat! Because, yeah, you can feel the little tremors and stuff. Yeah. So much fun. All in all, like I said, not a bad experience, but not one that I'm super eager to repeat. My family's like, let's go on another! I'm like, no! Like, leave me at home! Like, I can't do this! I was sad to leave, but it was just, like I said, we made friends with the staff, and they were so nice, and it was hard to leave them. Because they were really nice. Like I said, they added us on Facebook. Yeah, like, certain parts were better than others. Sitka did not have fun in Sitka. And, like I said, it's not Sitka's fault. It was just wet. And really cold. And I don't like wet and cold. So that was a bit of a moment. Honestly, like I said, most memorable thing was the food. We ate so much while we were gone. And honestly, I woke up this morning, I was kind of sad. I was like, I can't just go to the dining hall and just go, like, pick something up. Because that's what we would do, is we would wake up in the morning and we would go down to, well, up. So the Windjammer was on top, and that was the big buffet. So we'd go to the Windjammer and we'd eat breakfast. And on days that we had excursions, which if you're going on a cruise, I will say, make sure you have time between your excursions. Like, if you're going to Sitka, Skagway, and Juneau, maybe don't plan an excursion for one of those days, because I wish I had more time just to, like, sleep in and just kind of lay there. We did not have that. Because my sister-in-law was in charge of planning, and she planned stuff for, like, every single day. I was like, I'm so tired, I just want to sleep. Also, the most entertaining things are usually at night. Like, all of the game shows and stuff were usually, like, pretty late at night. I say late. They ranged from, like, probably about 9 to midnight. One of the most interesting things was finding out what was, like, a free amenity and what you had to pay for. There was this pizza place, and the pizza place was, like, inclusive, so you could eat pizza from, like, I think they opened at probably 11, like 10 or 11, and they were open till 3 o'clock in the morning, and you could just eat pizza. So my sister-in-law got this bad habit of every night before bed, she would go to the pizza place and she would get pizza. And she'd eat it in bed right before falling asleep. I'm like, that's okay. It was pretty funny. Yeah, like, we tried to eat around like 7 or so. So we would go, and the restaurant that we ate at the most, where we ended up befriending the waiters, that place was called Silk. And their restaurant was very interesting because their menu changed every night. But there was like American night, there was the Royal night, there was the Italian night. And they had a signature cocktail and a signature, like, non-alcoholic drink each night. So it was just really, you had to pay extra for those. But the menus were really interesting because when you look at the menu, it has, like, a starter, a main, and a dessert. And at the very beginning of the meal, you order each one. So if they had, like, a menu that was, like, Italian, so they had... Oh gosh, I don't even remember. I think that's the one that Hub sent me. Let's see. Okay, so it's actually featured beverages. So this was a taste of Italy. So they had the Aperol Spritz, and then they had the Shirley Ginger, which I ended up getting one, and it was really good. It was grenadine, orange and lime juice, and ginger ale. But there's like a highlight section on like what they recommend, and then for the starters they had like beef carpaccio, Italian minestrone, they had a garden salad, a Caesar salad, crispy Parmesan arancini, and golden polenta fries. And then for the main courses there was pan-seared filet of sole, chicken parmesan, lasagna al forno, New York strip steak, creamy mushroom risotto, meatless spaghetti bolognese, grilled chicken breast, and spiced lamb kofta. And then they had the premium selections, which, so for the drinks, like the signature drinks and the premium selection, you got charged like an extra on top. So they had a Maine lobster tail, Chops Grill filet mignon. So Chops Grill was a different restaurant, but some of the menus kind of crossed over. And they had Surf and Turf, which was a Maine lobster tail and the grilled filet mignon. And they had desserts, lemon custard tartlet, the Italian chocolate hazelnut cake, the tiramisu, the ice cream. Ice cream was pretty common on most of the menus for a dessert, just like plain ice cream. They had coffee, pot de creme, crumbly oat and berry bar, and artisan cheese plate. So you order a starter, a main, and a dessert at the beginning. But for my sister-in-law, so she's allergic to peanuts, and I have like a whole host of allergies. So when they found out, and it was on that first night, because they ask you, do you have any allergies? Because they have one dedicated chef who cooks for the allergy people. So if you say you have allergies, they will cook your meals separate. This one chef will prepare your meals separate so that it doesn't have any cross-contamination with anything you're allergic to. So, since she has a peanut allergy and I have, a whole host of allergies, we ended up having to order that on, like, it's not a special menu, but when we order, they had to go verify and make sure that nothing had ingredients we couldn't have. So on that night, I wanted the tiramisu. Well, the lady fingers that they use in the tiramisu have cinnamon, so I couldn't eat that. So he's like, oh, well, with your allergies, if you want, you can pre-order for tomorrow so they have your food, like, ready when your reservation's ready. And I was like, oh! So that's how we ended up eating there 4 nights in a row, because we pre-ordered each night for the meals. So she and I never had to order because we had already ordered the day before, and it was off of our fancy menus. So that was fun. We actually had a lot of fun with that one. Yeah, the most memorable part was the food. So much food. Such much food. Like, trying to think, like, what else we did. in Juneau, Hubs and I ended up opting out of doing an excursion because there's a glacier in Juneau. And you could go, and I thought from the sound of it that we were actually going to go, like, interact with the glacier. That is not what happened. So we ended up... Sorry, I was trying to figure this out. The glacier's there, and you get to kind of be, like, further back. And we took a lot of pictures. There's a waterfall that you can walk to. Then no one really tells you how far this waterfall is. So we start hiking. Anybody who knows me at all knows I don't hike. I don't like the hiking. But I end up going on a hike. So we were walking. It was me and Hubs because, like I said, we opted out of doing... The other thing they wanted to do was whale watching, and I'm not about whale watching. So we did not go whale watching. Sorry, I'm like trying to remember how to play this game, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? So yeah, they all went whale watching, and they did the glacier and whale watching combination, so we got to leave, Hubs and I got to leave earlier, and we got to go out to the glacier. We had like 2 hours? And I think they had, like, 1. So we ended up going out. We walked all the way to the freaking waterfall. And the thing about this waterfall is there was a second waterfall that was closer, but we could hear it through the trees and everything. I was like, oh, I hear the waterfall. We're getting close. Because at that point I was exhausted. I was like, oh yeah. Like, I hear the waterfall. We get to it. I was like, it's not the one that we were thinking of. Because when we did our first little walking trail, we could see it. And we're like, oh, yeah, look at that. Like, a giant waterfall. And we saw people out there, and I'm like, how did they get out there? Like, they were far away. I was like, how did the people even get out there? I was like, oh, it must be like a special tour or something. They must have, like, taken a boat or something. They did not. They walked out there. And then we proceeded to walk out there. Took for freaking ever. My legs hurt so bad that at one point I sat down and could not get back up. I was like, I think I'm just going to stay here. Like, I am so sore. And then Hubs had to tell me, he's like, no, we gotta go. We gotta go. I was like, gosh dang it. I made it. I did. Honestly, my favorite part of the entire trip, besides, like, our amazing waitstaff, I really liked the gardens. So, in Canada, we went to Victoria, and honestly, every time I hear Victoria, I'm reminded of when I went to Europe, and there was a train station called London Victoria. And every time we got on the train, because we ended up, you know, when we're going back to our hotel, you tend to take the same transportation. And so we were sitting there, and, like, probably every 2 minutes, the train, now approaching London Victoria. And it kept saying it over and over and over again. So, yeah. Every time somebody was talking about Victoria, I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, now approaching London Victoria. So that was interesting. But honestly, the gardens were amazing. They were completely in bloom, and there are several different styles of gardens. There's a Japanese garden, there's an Italian garden, there's a rose garden, there's the sunken garden. It was just so amazingly beautiful. Hubs also found out that I'm a little gremlin when it comes to moss for some reason. I don't know where this obsession has come from, but I really like moss. And, yeah. So I was just, like, giddy as could be there. And it was so funny, because my brother-in-law was complaining about it the whole time. He's like, we're really just gonna walk around these gardens? I was like, they're beautiful! He's like, worst part of the trip. I'm like, best part of the trip! You know, I have considered it. The only problem is it's so freaking dry here. It wouldn't, there's not enough moisture to keep it alive. Like, even with, like, a shower and everything, like, it's so dry here, it would just dry out and crack. Also, speaking of drying out, my hair, which I got cut right before I left, my hair was so voluminous and fluffy. I had an afro of curls, like really tight, like dense curls. That only happens in high humidity environments, which Seattle is extremely high humidity. I was so disappointed when I woke up this morning and my fluffy curls were gone, and now they're just the flat curls that I have when I'm in the desert. I'm heartbroken and extremely disappointed. Because while the humidity kind of sucks sometimes, my hair was luscious. It was phenomenal. And now I'm just like, I'm disappointed. Like, what happened to my fluffy hair? So, yeah, there was another downside of coming home. It was really weird to be away from home for that long. And coming back and the things that I got used to, like the dining hall, this morning I was like, what the heck am I supposed to have for breakfast? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to like either make something or just eat cereal. I had cereal. And the hunger from the trip has not subsided yet, so that's kind of interesting. I expected to, like, eat my cereal and be totally fine, but no, I am, like, straight up ravenous still. I'm like, oh, that's not good. One of our favorite places that we ate on the trip was actually in the airport in Seattle. They had a Qdoba. We used to have a Qdoba here, which is kind of like Chipotle, but, like, I've never had Chipotle, so in my opinion, Qdoba's better, but okay. But yeah, they had a Qdoba in the airport, and it was amazing. So, that was fun. Oh yeah, no. So, the conditioner that I've been using is, oh gosh, what is it? It's Whole Blends by Garnier, and it is the most hydrating conditioner I've ever used in my freaking life. And I love it. But even that does not keep up with how freaking dry it is here. So freaking dry. Yeah, see, I got the steak when I was at Qdoba, but like the whole thing is just so good, and that one burrito was more filling than like 5 items at Taco Bell. Also, for some odd reason, everyone was craving Taco Bell when we were gone. I think it started with my sister-in-law, and then it was my brother-in-law, and then it was my husband. Like, everyone wanted Taco Bell. I was like, why? We talked about McDonald's once, and no, we never did get McDonald's, because we have standards. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. No. So, okay, here's another funny story from the trip. So, Hubs and I did not take shampoo, conditioner, or body wash because we didn't want it weighing down the suitcase, and we're like, we'll just buy it in Seattle, which was fine. So, we go to a CVS, and it was a weird 2-story CVS. Very strange. So, we go up to the 2nd story of CVS, which has all of the shampoo and conditioner. And we're looking around, and we're looking around, and we're looking around. And so my husband and I are looking for, like, super hydrating. Like, I'm looking for, like, curl stuff. Like, we ended up spending so much money on the shampoo and conditioner because that's what we use, and we actually use the same stuff. My father-in-law is looking around, and he's like, where's that 3-in-1 stuff? I was like, dear sweet Lord. I'm over here going, this doesn't have enough moisture for my hair, and he's getting 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash. It just can't. I'm like, he is a man of simple needs. Also, one of the odd things, access to water. There are specific stations around the boat. The one that we mainly used was down by the pizza place. Like, I had to buy a water bottle because I didn't get the drink package. And if I wanted something that wasn't like a plastic little cup, I had to buy a water bottle and go down like 4 flights of stairs to go get water for the night. I've never been so freaking grateful to have my refrigerator like 15 feet away from me. Eris, that's... I can't with you. My hair is so high maintenance now to get the bouncy, fluffy curls that I am accustomed to, that I will not give up. I have to do so much freaking work. Like, there's hair oil, there's leave-in conditioner, there's specific types of conditioner. Like, my hair has needs. Yeah, no, I was like, how am I supposed to take care of my hair? And then the humidity was like, girl, I got you. I hardly had to do anything while I was on the trip just because the humidity was so high. I think I literally just put like a little bit of hair oil in. And it was like a tiny amount compared to what I normally use. See, and this is why I got mine cut, like right before I left on my trip. Because I was like, I know I'm going to get on the trip and I'm going to have issues with my hair. But I'm really glad I went with the cut that I did. Because the way that it was cut was, like, it aided in achieving the bounce. So I had, like I said, I had very luscious hair on the entire trip.
I'm hungry.
Oh my gosh, you're making me hungry now. Like I said, the hunger has not gone away from the trip. And like, I never felt like bloated or anything. I just was like ravenously hungry. Oh, now I'm starving. What time is it? It's 4. And I have to go back to work tomorrow. I'm just like, ugh. After waking up, so I fell asleep probably about like 4:40 this morning, and I woke up at like 11:30. And I'm like, I really needed that sleep, but also I wasted most of my day away sleeping. And then taking care of the dogs, taking care of the cats. And Hub stayed up even later than I did because he was taking care of the dogs while I was trying to shower and then, you know, pass out. What did I come in here for? Oh, chicken food. I was like, I came in here for something. What did you have for dinner? Okay, hearing this thunder, that just reminds me. While we were on the trip, so we had a balcony room. We slept with the door open on the balcony every single night. So when we were going to sleep, all I heard was the sound of the ocean. Sound of the waves, sound of the ocean, everything was all hunky-dory. And, yeah, no. Now that I'm back, I'm like, oh, like, I kind of miss the sound of the ocean. So yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer. I'm like, oh, like it was so nice. Okay, but that sounds fire. Like, that sounds amazing. Then again, I freaking love potatoes. See, my mom doesn't like potatoes, and I'm like, I could live off of potatoes. I think I've talked about that before. My great-grandma was from Missouri, and she she always said potatoes. Not potatoes, potatoes. And she used to make some of the best potatoes. Although at her house, no matter what time you woke up, she always had breakfast. Like, you could literally wake up at, like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and she's like, oh, do you want some eggs, honey? Do you want some bacon? So, yeah, no, I could freaking live off of potatoes. When I was in high school, one of the things that I would do is I would come home from school, and if I just needed, like, a snack, I would boil a potato. Like, I'd peel, cut, and boil a potato, and put hot sauce on it. That was it. That was the whole thing. No butter, no cheese, just straight up potato and hot sauce. Freaking love potatoes. And now I want potatoes. Dang it. Where am I supposed to get potatoes right now? I wonder if I'll say this again. Because he says, my favorite manga keeps going on hiatus. It's been months now. It comes off hiatus and then goes back on hiatus a few days later. I don't even care anymore. I just want it to end. That is the most relatable thing I think I've ever heard. Because I've had webtoons like that. I'm like, when are they going to start posting more episodes? When is the next season supposed to come out? Like, or between seasons they'll like change artists. I'm like, no! I'm like, I just want my stuff back. That's always the worst, is when they switch art styles, or when the story just shifts dramatically to something that I'm like, I don't even like recognize this anymore. Like what is this now? Okay, I think we also need to plan to expand this back here.
Incoming ad break.
So while I was gone, of course, since the internet was absolute trash, I really didn't get to read my webtoons like I want. And so the whole time I was gone, I was like, come on, internet! So the app that we have, there was supposed to be like a little like connect button that you could click and it would like reconnect you to the internet. That did not work. So what you had to do was you had to go into your Wi-Fi settings, reconnect to the ship's Wi-Fi, and then once you were connected to the ship's Wi-Fi, you had to go onto the app and reconnect through the app. That was ridiculous, and oftentimes did not work. So I spent a lot of time fighting with the internet. Too much time fighting with the internet. Honestly, was not worth it. And we had to pay for that too. So yeah, internet is not just an included thing. Like, you had to pay for the Wi-Fi package. And I'm like, it didn't work! So my sister and I are just complaining, going, why isn't the Wi-Fi working? And then she had a complete panic attack when it came to the Wi-Fi, because when we were leaving, we had to put, like, we had to get our plane tickets and stuff on the app. And I guess with the airline that we were flying through, depending on when you do your check-in, you get put into a certain like boarding group, and so the sooner you do it, the better. And so she's like, "We're gonna be put in the back. We're gonna be put in the back." I'm like, "Oh, okay," and like she was freaking out. And yeah, it was just, the internet was just a mess. Okay, I already found his bunny phone. Let's... Ooh, we got lucky boxes. What did we get? We got a recipe that we already have. Oh, I love butter chicken. Jealous. Yeah, butter chicken is one of my, like, absolute favorite things. I had something, and it was... Oh, gosh. I don't even remember the name of it, but it's really close to butter chicken. And it's not tikka masala, because I would have remembered that one. It's like another regional dish, and Mark actually explained it to us, and he's like, yeah, this is the difference, it's a regional. I'm like, oh, okay. And it was really, really good. Like, I enjoyed that one. But it actually was not spicy. I was expecting it to be spicy, was not spicy. It's too early to sleep. What? What? That's weird. Okay. All of this talk of food has made me extremely hungry. So, I don't even know how long I've been streaming. I'm not used to this anymore. Hour and 30, jeezums. Okay, so. Tried to pop my spot. Didn't work. Anywho, that is going to be it for this episode. I will be back tomorrow with another episode. Well, actually, let me check, because since we have to go to one of those after hours things, I need to see when those are. Okay, so I'm obviously not going to the one tonight. Ew. Station networking event. No. I almost said the restaurant's name. It's at a restaurant that's pretty close to my house, but it's from 6 to 9. That's on Thursday. There's a panel discussion. This photo is like super grainy and I can't really actually read everything. Ew. Anyhow. So, hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. If not, on Thursday, because since I have to go to one of these stupid events, I might as well go to the one at the restaurant, because hopefully I can just eat there with maybe my husband. Anyhow. But I am back. My brain is extremely scattered. I do apologize. But hopefully I will be able to post more pictures and I will be able to cohesively talk about my travels. But until then, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is to you.